everyone, this is Editing Jess. I just wanted to remind you that this is part 2 of our last episode, and so it's still using the same recording methods that we did last time, and so the audio still isn't going to be perfect, but it's going to be a great set of stories. And I also want to remind you of some terminology so you understand all of the stories. On a ship, if you hear the word head, it means the bathroom. Deck means the floor, bulkhead means a wall, and stateroom is a bedroom. All right, let's get to it. Hi, everybody. We're Jess and Kristen. Welcome to Situations, the Poop Podcast,
where we talk about all things poop-related, from your crappiest stories to your most pressing questions. So come listen, because we have something for every asshole.
Apparently, water was shooting out 2 to 3 feet from the toilets.
For the listeners out there, Jesse, what is waffle stomping?
One of the scientists broke his toilet. Well, unclog it. No, not that kind of broke.
So, Kristen, we are about to record the second half of our podcast, and we left off from talking about someone who flushed a fork down a toilet.
Which actually, didn't you just have a friend recently send you a photo of a fork in a toilet?
I did, yeah. We'll have to put that on our Instagram. It was in her office. She's works in a corporate office building. And yeah, there was a fork in a toilet, and she had gone to go to the bathroom and was like, what the fuck? But there was...
Apparently. It's funny how these things, now that we're talking about it, it's way more common than you'd think.
Right? There was no kimchi in that one, though. Okay, but we are going to continue listening to this interview, and for those of you who don't know where we are, I had interviewed 2 engineers on a research vessel about their experiences dealing with literal shit and what it takes to keep a ship running. And today, I think most of this recording is going to focus on their best stories of not even, how it works or anything, just the funniest and weirdest things they've encountered while doing this job. Do you have any thoughts or comments before we start?
No, I'm excited. Let's bring it on.
All right, so let's get into some of the funny stories throughout the ages and your times as engineers. Doug's told a couple, and Ted, you've given me a list of a few. Let's start with the gummy bear and M&M situation.
Oh,
I don't want to know. I just ate.
It was, this was probably 15 years ago. We were getting close. No, I was sailing as first engineer, so it was maybe 8 or 9. And it was getting close to the end of the day. We're in port, and I'm looking around just to kind of figure out what the guys have gotten done that day, get everybody going, let's get the trash off, get sewage pumped, and get out of here. And I can't find a single person in my department. I start kind of wandering around the boat, and then all of a sudden I hear, oh no, from back in the Science 01 deck port side. I want to say it was either stateroom 10 or 12, one of those. And I go back there, guys, what's going on? Now, mind you, Science had just moved off, so everything should have been cleaned and happy. Guys, what's going on? You gotta see this, Ted. This is so gross. You're not really selling it here, guys, but what the hell's going on? I don't know how, but the person that had been in that room, I don't know if they had a messed up digestive system or what, but mixed in with the poop and the toilet paper that had clogged the elbow was peanut M&Ms and gummy bears. You could still almost make out the color on some of the peanut M&Ms too.
Not chewed?
They I don't know how they got. I really don't know how, but it's
so one of the whole M&Ms and whole gummy bears.
They've been kind of just one bite and through or something. I looking at it's going. You could clearly identify what they were. And it was that the guys were making that noise, pulled it out, and the discharge from the toilets are about 1.5 inch diameter pipe. It was a good 7 inches of clog. And there was a lot less toilet paper than I would have liked to have seen in that clog. Suffice it to say, when that scientist turned back up the next day, we weren't nearly as friendly with her.
I have a question. So wait, could it have possibly been that, like, somehow maybe, like, a bag of M&Ms and, like, a bag of gummy bears was, like, near the toilet and got knocked in and flushed?
No, because so I remember this, and I remember the face he made. Because, right, we ask, was it, like, were they whole? And he goes, well, you could tell that they were, like, hung. Like someone clearly, like, did a cursory chew and then just swallowed, I guess. Which I will say, if you actually try, if you thought about chewing through gummy bears, they're incredibly tough.
Yeah. Well, there's actually, I forget the brand, but there's, so Haribo is, like, super difficult to chew. But then there's, like, it's a green bag. You know what I'm talking about?
No. I mean, I know Haribo.
There's a different brand. So Haribo's, like, the gold bag. Mm-hmm. But there's a different brand, and it's, like, I want to say it's, like, Forest. I don't know. I got to look this up. But those are significantly easier to chew.
I've also heard the gummy bears, like, if you need to shit your pants, you should go get a bag of gummy bears because...
Yeah, Black Forest. That's the brand.
Black Forest. Sounds so elegant.
Black Forest gummy bears. You should try those because they're way different. The flavors are pretty much the same shape and everything, obviously. But you can actually chew them. But there is a brand, and I heard about that. Wasn't there, like, I don't remember which brand it was, where if you ate them, you, like, instantly got diarrhea?
Yeah, I think SNL did a whole skit on it. Like, it's...
Yeah, but it was one brand, I think, in particular. Like, I don't think it was, like, gummy bears in general. Mm-hmm. I think there was a brand going around where if you ate them, you just, like, crapped your pants. And it was going around where it was like, don't touch this specific brand of gummy bears. It wasn't that... if you just eat any brand of gummy bears, you're going to crap your pants. It was more of like, okay, this one brand. Actually, let's look that up right now.
While you're looking that up, it's funny when you think about how little we actually chew our food, because I think they specify you're supposed to chew your food 40 times before you swallow. So, like, I doubt anyone does that in general.
No, I don't think people do that at all, let alone with gummy bears. Okay, so it's the sugar-free Haribo. Oh. Something about the sorbitol or whatever that they put in it. Mm-hmm. It causes... guess what I Googled, first of all? What's in the search
gummy
bar?
bear shitting.
No.
What?
Gummy bear diarrhea. Things that come up is, first of all, Saint Diarrhea's Day Massacre.
I'm sorry,
I don't know what that is.
Mark that for our next episode.
Within 15 minutes of consuming these high-powered laxatives, so apparently that's Iran... that time, gummy bears gave everyone diarrhea. That comes up. Mm-hmm. Do Haribo sugar-free gummy bears really give you diarrhea? Diarrhea while driving.
Oh, no.
Sugarless gummy bears can give you explosive diarrhea. Lions and tigers and gummy bears and diarrhea. This is like just from searching gummy bear diarrhea.
Oh, my God. We should hit
the
each of these as like their own.
The internet is just a wonderful place.
I love it. It's magical.
Okay, now that we've cleared that up, so they were definitely chewed.
Yes.
It wasn't like an accidental flushing of candy.
Yeah, no. It's because, and especially to the volume, right? 7 inches of pipe, I think that also lends to just like how much they were like flushing and clogging and like over and over again. Because it is really common to have snacks when you're on ships. That's like the number one way you keep people happy is snacks.
For sure. I mean, I think it's common for most people in the United States to have snacks. Like, anywhere, not just on a boat.
But, like, if you don't have snacks, like, you know, if you go to you're like, oh, fuck, we don't have granola bars, we don't have goldfish, like, I'm going to go to the store. Because you can't go to the store and get them. So, like, you need to make sure that you have snacks because there will be mutiny if there are no snacks whatsoever. But, yeah, like, we don't chew our food at all. Like, as a society, we just don't. I remember...
I know, because we're on the go. We're always in a rush.
Yeah, I remember being at a party for a friend, and he had made... some like mushroom dish. It was really good. And then he got so drunk that he threw up later that night, and they were like whole mushrooms like in the pile. Like he just swallowed it all. I don't think he chewed it at all.
That's pretty funny.
So you knew exactly which scientist this was.
Yes, we did. And it wasn't because we were mad at her or anything. It's just after seeing what came out of her, mental images.
She's the devil.
Yeah, but usually the devil stuff out the, like, throw up, I think. You don't really think of it coming out the ass.
Yeah. Have you had anybody on here that can't flush their toilet, so they just keep shitting in it anyway?
No.
Oh.
Have you had that?
Yeah.
Do share.
Well, it's just exactly what you think. It's a toilet full of shit.
That's common. Like that happens a lot. People just give up and they're like, okay, I'm just going to keep going. Like at the restaurant, doesn't matter. Like that thing will just overflow because people are like, fuck it.
Oh my God. And that's something you had to like handle and take care of?
Not specifically. That was more when I was serving and, you know, there were managers to take care of it. But yeah, and we would like have to lock the door and then crawl under the stall door just to prevent people from going in there and continuing to use that toilet. Like, especially on a night where people are drinking and it's like more of a party scene, people do not care. They're like, I need to go and I need to go now and I don't care that this isn't going to flush, I'm just going to use it. It's like someone else's problem, out of sight, out of mind.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
So before we keep going, I'm going to bring us back into some context from the last episode. So a head is a bathroom on a ship. And so the way that the rooms are set up is there are public heads. So like you're walking down a hallway and there's just a single seater bathroom, kind of like your standard public bathroom. And then the rooms, it's usually bunk bed rooms that are connected to each other with a bathroom. So like a total of 4 people would share one bathroom.
Apparently the push button broke. And instead of telling us on day one, they waited until there was no more room to shit into the toilet. Yeah. So
we did
before we work on it, we give them a shop vac. And they have to clean the toilet, and then we will come and fix it.
If we have one where they clog it that bad and it's still got evidence in it, we generally give them a Dixie cup and tell them to fish it out. We don't want to ruin a shop vac.
Well, that was also something I was thinking of, was the fact that now you got to disinfect and empty the shop bag.
No, you
throw it away.
Throw it away.
There's some things that cannot be recovered from.
Yeah.
Even if they could, you don't necessarily want to.
Yeah.
Oh, well, see, now I want to know, because did this person share that head with someone else, or was it personal?
No.
It was
personal.
just theirs?
Yeah.
Because I share my head with 3, there's 3 of us, so someone else would have literally called me out on my shit. First leaving a mountain, just slowly growing.
At the beginning of the cruise, we did have one of the scientists call out that, hey, this toilet back here isn't flushing. The public head by the library. He just didn't push the right button.
Well, that is fair. I have pushed the wrong button many times, and then I remembered it's a different one.
But he didn't even try. It's not working.
Ted had described in the last episode that it's a vacuum system, so very much like an airplane toilet. And so it's like a little silver button on the wall, and you push that button and it, high pressure vacuum sucks the poop down into the pipes. So from what Doug is saying, this mountain of poop was going from the beginning of the cruise, which cruises are typically like at least a week long. So this person's flush button didn't work at the beginning. And instead of like asking someone for help, they just spent a week shitting on this growing pile of poo, which also, like I said, is connected to your room. So like, can you imagine this smell?
Oh, God. No. I just, sometimes I'm curious, like, what? I mean, I'm sure there's, a level of embarrassment, right? Like, okay,
sure.
I went and pooped the first time, it won't flush. Like, oh no, what do I do? I'm going to be embarrassed if someone has to come fix this and my poop is in it. It's just like, but I feel like that embarrassment would just grow significantly if you continue to poop and now you have a mountain of poop in your toilet. Like, I don't really understand the thought process of leaving it and hoping that, like, nobody finds it. Like, do you think the cruise is going to end and you're going to exit and then they'll take care of it, like, once you're just no longer on the ship? Like, I just want to know what goes through people's heads.
That must have been their logic because, like they said, that person wasn't sharing it. That was like a private bedroom, bathroom situation. So there was no one to call them out on it, no one to see it. and is like, people would keep their rooms really private because it's their only place to decompress. So yeah, maybe that was their plan. They were just like, if I can just get to the last day and run off this ship and never be seen again. Like, maybe their embarrassment did grow with the pile and it just became an all-consuming shame.
Soul crushing. Yeah. Oh no, I would never. I don't even know. I would somehow try to erase my existence from that ship and everybody that was on it because I would be so mortified.
You'd change your job, change your name.
I
gotta move out.
would go into the witness protection program if that happened to me. Like, I really would.
Oh, no, wait. I'm pretty sure Doug said, so that person didn't get away with it because he said that they gave them the shop vac.
Shop vac, yeah.
Yeah, to clean out their own toilet. They're like, we won't fix this until you literally clean the shit out. So the shame, whatever shame and embarrassment they were trying to avoid, it just came crashing down on them before they could get away.
Oh man, that's just unfortunate.
Moving on to the next story.
Ted, tell me about the poop in the mouth story.
You got one of those too?
Thank God it wasn't me.
It wasn't me either.
Okay, then Doug, you'll be next.
This is one of those ones where, you know how in the previous story I said, thankfully it usually just ends up right at the elbow behind the toilet. This clog made it past that. So one of the main lines from the starboard science heads goes over our day tanks in AMR1. And the area above the day tanks is about 40 feet long, but it's only about 2.5 feet tall. And there's not a lot of room to work around it, and the pipe is near the top. So the first engineer we had at the time, Hank, was up there. We figured out it was between this spot and this spot, and we kind of went through on the long lateral run with a hammer. You could dunk, dunk. Oh, this one sounds full. So and when it sounded empty, okay, we know the clog's somewhere on this side. Pulled it apart on the non-clog side, closest to the sewage tank. Shine a light in there, and you could see, oh, there's something there. So Hank is under there looking at it like this. Got a Q-Med further down the line, kind of tapping it with a rubber mallet to hopefully work it that way.
So you're staring into the barrel of this quote-unquote gun, watching as you
No.
try to move the shit down it?
The other first engineer is. I'm down. I'm the parts runner, the tool guy. I'm not involved in the actual poop touching. So he's basically staring down it, and it gets close. And it gets close. Hey, okay, hold up, stop. And the Q-Med gives it one more whack. Now, I'd like to point out that Hank probably should have been wearing goggles and a face mask, a face shield. He was wearing neither. And all I heard was, stop, as about a 2 to 3 inch kind of ball of what could only be described as the horrific marriage of corn, Brussels sprouts, and too much cabbage came out and just hit him right in the face. But really, what was the insult to the injury was probably the 6 or 7 gallons of liquid behind it that just dumped out right onto his face, into his mouth, and all over him.
So we can visualize Hank is standing at the end of this pipe, and the pipes are overhead. They're not on the ground, right? So it's on the ceiling. So Hank is like staring down the barrel of a gun.
Did the liquid at least help to wash away the first blob?
It's pee, most of it.
But still.
No.
We couldn't confirm, but we think he probably swallowed some.
I think I'd puke it right back up.
Did he?
He got out on deck before he puked.
Oh, that's good.
And then we hosed him down with the fire hose. And then he cussed out the Q-Med, told him to go fucking down clean it. And things were tense in the engine department for a couple of days later. But once they got it clean, they put the pipe back together, and it worked again. After talking to the first engineer, a lot of the science were very wary of using the toilets anymore, because they were scared of breaking it and having him be mad at them.
I'm just picturing people Like, right, everyone already has so many different digestive problems. We have lactose intolerant, gluten-free, general IBS. And then to add insult to injury of that and being like, I don't want to poop. I can't risk it. I don't want to fuck with people. And just the amount of stomach pain people must have been in. And then I'm picturing them.
It always crosses my mind before I flush. Like, is this the time it's not going to flush?
I had one of those the other day. The morning one, so it's just bad. Plus, the night of pee still sloshing around in the toilet. Hit the button, and nothing. Oh, come on. Finally, about 5 or 6 seconds later, it goes. But sometimes there's just that little delay when there's not quite enough vacuum or something, and it just makes you go, oh, don't clog on me.
Okay, so Doug, your shit.
Okay, before they keep going, thoughts?
I feel like there are no words. If that happened to me, I think I wouldn't have made it on deck to throw up. I think I would have thrown up instantly. Poop is there's so much bacteria in poop. I don't know how he didn't get severely sick in one way, shape, or form. And I don't think you could pay me enough money to do that job.
I do think they get paid quite a lot of money. So that's one
Enough
good thing.
money to get poop shot into your mouth?
Yeah. Yeah. No, and like I said in the interview too, like I can only hope, like I don't even care if it's pee at that point, that just because like the texture, all of it, like I could only hope that the pee would just
texture?
wash it away. And that, yeah, I would not have made it. I'm with you. I wouldn't have made it to deck.
Oh, the smell, the everything. It's making me sick right now, honestly.
I mean, it's his own fault, though. Why? Why would you stare down that pipe knowing
That's
that's
true.
what's on the other end?
That's very true. And with nothing covering your face. Like, no.
Nothing. Not even sunglasses. Nothing.
Oh, God. I can't even keep thinking about it because it really is making me sick to my stomach right now just thinking of poop getting shot into my mouth. And not,
Well, too, and then I don't know if you caught at the end there, apparently his anger, right, at the guy who was like tapping the pipe and made it move and hit him in the face. His anger was so extreme and was such, I mean, obviously it was a scene. The guy's vomiting on deck, they're hosing him off, he's covered in shit. That the rest of the people on the boat were afraid to use the toilet because they didn't want to be the one that clogged the pipe and met his fury. So everyone's holding their shit in and just dealing with stomach pains until the cruise is over so that this guy won't be mad at them.
oh, man. I can't even imagine.
Okay, so Doug, your shit in mouth story.
Not me, luckily, but we had to clean out the vents from the MSD. And we had a wiper that, from time to time, his overtime job would be to stand in one spot. And we would paint a spot on the deck and tell him to stand there and not move and not talk. And we would time it to see. I don't think he ever got over like 5 minutes. And we told him, like, you can have 4 hours. You just have to stand there.
And why does this person have to stay within this box?
Because he just never stopped moving or talking or anything else, ever.
Are we talking about Danny?
Like Danny on crack.
Oh, God.
And he was a young kid, too. But he was holding the vent pipe above his head, and he would not stop talking. And when the person on the other side lifted up their end, and they had a nice incline, a turd rolled right down the pipe. And since he kept talking, his mouth was wide open. And right down the hatch it went.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It was... I found it funny, but...
I don't think he did.
No, he did not. Oh, yeah. He spit it out, coughed, choked.
Vomited?
Dropped the pipe, ran.
So, have any of these people or yourselves ever considered just, like, taking the risk and washing your mouth out with bleach? Just, like, Or, like, what is the most extreme case of, like, sanitation you've tried to do for yourself? Is it just Purell and bars of soap, or, like...
I feel like most times it's just a really hot shower.
For half an hour.
Yeah. And a 3M's, like, one of the
Scrubbing.
green scrub pads.
Yeah, until you can't feel your skin anymore.
That and just soap. It really helps wash away the unclean feeling. Also works surprisingly well with grease.
When I had it spray out and create a puddle in my lap, I just jumped in the shower fully clothed.
Did you save those clothes, or did you burn them?
Oh, I don't know. I probably threw them away.
These are great. You guys, this is going to be such a good podcast.
One of the things that kind of makes me realize where I get my sense of humor, but when I first started sailing as a third engineer, my mother used to introduce me as, "This is Ted, he's my son. He's a turd engineer." I love you too, Mother.
Now, does she have an accent? Is it like an Irish person? Oh, he's a turd engineer. Or is it...
She's about as wide as I am. She grew up in Alameda, California. We don't think we have an accent at all. It obviously came out as turd engineer, not like she had a Scottish brogue or an Irish accent. It was turd engineer. And people go, "I'm sorry, what?" "Oh, he's the guy that takes care of the sewage on the boat. I.e., turd engineer. Plays with shit." Mom, please stop now.
I do other things, Mom. I'm better. I'm a special.
Although it does, sometimes it seems like an unfortunate coincidence that the guy that deals with sewage also makes the potable water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a very interesting dichotomy. You would hope you don't cross those pipes. Is there ever a risk of crossing those pipes?
No, there's no possible way for that to happen.
Now that I...
Not without getting really creative.
Say with a question mark.
No, you'd have to get really creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really, we just tie the fire main system into it to flush the sewage system out.
So the next story we have, I believe, is Ted's, and it's about a broken toilet lid in Australia.
This was when I was still actually sailing as third engineer. And we were out on, I want to say it was a 35, 36-day trip off the coast of Australia. And we generally don't carry spare toilets because, one, they're a vacuum toilet and they're like $4,000 to $5,000 a piece pretty easily. And two, we just don't really have the storage space for it. And one of the scientists comes up and gets me, I'm on watch. "Ted, I broke my toilet. Is there any poop in it?" "Oh, no, I didn't clog it. I broke my toilet." What? Can you show me what you're talking about? So he takes me back and knocks on it, makes sure nobody's in there, although the state of it, I hope nobody had tried to sit down on it. But he shows me his toilet, and he claims he was just putting the toilet seat down, but putting the toilet seat down somehow broke the entire toilet bowl and stand into about 4 separate pieces. Like, the front of the bowl sheared off, and both sides came off as a separate piece. There was some smaller pieces. It looked like he had taken a cast brass metal finger to it.
So the reference there is, that's an inside joke that they have. Someone had made a brass full-sized middle finger, like a whole hand, just like flipping you off, and they would pass it around, and they dropped it and like broke some shit. But yeah, this person shattered a porcelain toilet.
Have you seen the middle finger yet?
I have.
Okay.
You showed me the picture yesterday.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of standing there toilet seat did that, eh? Yeah. I don't believe you. I don't know what to tell you. That's all I got. Okay, fine. So I go up. "Chief, one of the scientists broke his toilet." "Well, unclog it." "No, not that kind of broke." "What do you mean?" "Literally, it's in 5 pieces." "Huh?" "Show me." I take him back there and show him. He looks at the scientist. "Your toilet seat did this." "Yeah, I don't believe you." To make the long story short, we didn't have a spare, so we ended up having to pull the toilet out of the hospital on board, plumb it in there, and order a new toilet that we then installed in the hospital.
So did you guys have to sail the rest of this cruise with one toilet down?
Yes.
How long was that?
This was probably a week into the cruise, so it was another 25, 30 days.
Well, I hope no one gets a stomach problem when they have to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Tell them they have to stay in whoever's room it was. Be like, you get the sick people.
Yeah.
Who have it coming out both ends.
Well, fortunately, that the shower in the hospital has a bigger drain, so worst comes to worst, you can waffle stomp it.
You know, I had to recently teach my mother what waffle stomping was. And,
So I don't know if I've told you that, Kristen. Did you know that I had to teach Mom
Yes.
what waffle stomping
Which I
was?
love how you say you had to teach. You had to teach her. How did it come up, first of all?
That's a great question, actually. I'll have to ask her, because what's even better is I'm pretty sure it was over breakfast. We're at their house having breakfast. And maybe it was after a night of Cards Against Humanity, because there are a few different cards there that we had to teach Mom. And waffle stomping was one of them. And so, I'll have to ask her what it
For the
was.
listeners out there, Jesse, what is waffle stomping?
Yes. So for anyone who doesn't know, waffle stomping is when you take a shit in the shower and then literally stomp it down the drain. Hence waffle, because right there are those drains that have that like waffle pattern on them.
I wonder how
So-
many people actually will take a shit in the shower. Like, even if I pee before the shower, there's something about just water. It makes me have to pee again. And I'm like, it's all going down the drain. I'm in there to clean myself anyways.
Exactly. Just going to wash it off
It's-
anyway.
I mean, I do pee in the shower. But I feel like that's a pretty common question that comes up with people, is like if you're the type of person that pees in the shower or not. So I wonder if there are actually people. I mean, waffle stomping is a thing and people talk about it, so there have to be people out there that actually shit in the shower. It's a little much for me.
If you are brave enough, listeners, I would love to know if you waffle stomp or shit in the shower and take care of it in some way other than waffle stomping. Is your toilet too far away from your shower? Do you just not care? I'm really curious. Feel free to write in.
That's so funny.
And that was a very entertaining conversation. And you guys the TV show The Rifleman?
Yeah.
So, do you know it?
No.
It's an old black and white, like, Western TV show. The Rifleman's this, cowboy who's a sharpshooter. And the opening sequence goes, The Rifleman! Da, 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 da. So I'm explaining waffle stomping to my mom. And she goes, who would do that? And that's the first thing that comes on the TV. The Rifleman!
Not only is he a sharpshooter,
He's a sharp shitter.
Yeah, I'm proud of that one. Okay, so this was one of my favorite stories. We're really close to the end of this interview. All I'm going to say is this is Doug's story about an Apache helicopter that was involved in a shit incident, in a situation.
We did clean a sewage line in the cargo holds with a fire hose, which is sometimes the only way to clear them out. And when it cleared itself out finally, it did spray shit all over the Army's helicopter.
Ah, this is the Apache helicopter.
This is the Apache helicopter story.
Okay.
And it was covered. Which, we set up a chute basically to try to catch everything coming out of the pipe in the trash can, and it missed everything except for the helicopter. And those guys were so pissed off, but it was their fault because they kept flushing rags and paper towels down.
It's like they were trying to clog it.
Yes.
paper towels are the bane of our existence.
Yes. In a vacuum sewage system, a paper towel won't break up for a year.
I bet rags would be even longer.
Yeah.
So, provide a little more context. What was this a military ship?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Military Sea Lift Command.
okay.
So we carried shit this was for the Army. I couldn't tell you what division or anything, but we were taking them over to Thailand and Korea and the Philippines.
And so, were there a lot of Apache helicopters on board? Or was this like the only one?
I think we had 3 or 4.
And why did it? Was there a reason it was parked right at your main exit strategy?
No,
I feel like they don't really take into...
they don't take into consideration where the sewage pipes are.
And so when you say it covered this helicopter, was it like raining? Was it like a splat? Like what?
Was it
would
like a
say-
misfired potato gun?
Yeah, but rating, and it was more towards the front of the helicopter, so it was the whole cockpit and the glass, and you know.
And were you guys responsible for cleaning it?
Oh hell no.
Would you trust us with like a multi-million, $20,000, or $20-30 million helicopter?
Hey, I don't know. You guys are trusted with this entire ship. Look how many $1 million is that?
Probably about the same cost as an Apache.
Yeah. That ship was only 300 million, but our cargo was anywhere 8 to 10 billion.
Wow.
By
Yeah.
the time you added everything up together,
Don't break it.
the ship is the cheapest part.
And was this also when you guys were flushing this system? Was this during a cruise or was this at the end?
Was at the beginning of the cruise. So we picked those up in Tacoma or in Hawaii. I can't remember. And we were still headed west.
And was this helicopter supposed to be used? Or was it just going to be stored somewhere else?
No, it was an extra. We didn't take them on the mission with us. But we must have picked them up in Tacoma and brought them to Hawaii. So they just needed them shipped anyway.
Well, that's good. At least it wasn't, someone didn't have to sit in it hours after it rained down on it. Well, speaking of raining shit, I've heard a lot about one very particular shit story, but I haven't actually heard the story yet. Would you like to tell us about Poopageddon?
Yes, poop again.
So we're coming to the final story of this interview. And this was something, I had been on this ship for 30 days and everyone talked about Poopageddon. And it apparently will go down in infamy as something that happened to this ship. So this is Ted's story of Poopageddon.
Yes, Poopageddon. I fortunately was not here for this, so this is all second-hand, third-hand, fourth-hand. But I've, through good sources, gotten a pretty clear picture of what happened.
Was anyone else who's currently on board part of this experience, or no?
No. Nobody else that was part of that experience still works here.
Okay.
I actually got a call from the chief steward on board at the time to tell me about it as it was happening. Started out the call with, "Ted, be glad you're not here right now." So, one of our preventative maintenance items is we flush the gray water overboard, the valve to the tank, and we flush the vacuum manifold to help prevent buildup from wet
Shit.
wipes, shit, uric acid. Surprisingly, pee under a vacuum crystallizes and just loves building up in pipes, and that's actually responsible for most of the clogs we get. So the uric acid, I'm assuming it's uric acid, kind of builds up. So if you do it regularly enough, it tends to break loose the big chunks and keep it fairly clear. The problem is you have to shut the valves that go to the system before you use 150 pounds of fire main pressure to flush out the vacuum manifold. Or else the age-old threat of the engineers making your toilet flow in reverse comes true. So they were doing this preventative maintenance and they forgot to close the 3 valves, and we usually flush it for 5 or 6 minutes to give it a good nice washout, and they did not close the 3 valves. Fortunately, it didn't go throughout the boat. It just went to the 3 closest toilets, which would be the one in the laundry room and the tech's head and the cook's head. But apparently water was shooting out 2 to 3 feet from the toilets. I use the term water loosely because it was intermixed with whatever was left in the lines and all that, and filled up both bathroom pans. Some was going back down the drain through the shower. Most was coming out into the rooms. So they were probably actively exercising their demons for 3 or 4 minutes before we shut off the water. By that time, there was water coming out of the laundry room head into the laundry room, cascading down the stairs to the sewage flat, Some came out into the hallway between it and the galley. And on the upper deck, this deck we're sitting on right now, it was about an inch deep in both tech rooms, both cook's rooms, and the lounge, which we're sitting in right now.
Please tell me this carpet's been replaced since
Nope.
then.
Nope. See, don't you feel clean? No matter
Yes.
how much scrubbing you can do.
Yes, the first thing they did was, one, vacuum up as much water as they could, rip out as much carpeting as they could.
Surprised you didn't just light the whole ship on fire and call it a day.
Apparently that was tossed around as an idea, but it was vetoed. Too expensive, and they were out in the middle of nowhere, so lighting the ship on fire around you, not the best of ideas.
Ugh, damn.
So everybody that's not actively doing something on watch is essentially in poopy suits and all the PPE we can wrangle. Poopy suits are the Tyvek suits that
The
supposedly help keep you clean.
like body condom things.
Yeah, they're in here vacuuming, tearing out carpet, actively wiping things up, finding new puddles. I mean, new puddles kept coming out of the walls for like 4 days. We get into port, hire a steam cleaning firm to come out, steam clean everything, new carpet and everything. But like, for example, there's got to be some poo soaked into those cabinets, etc. The couches are original.
Glad.
You're going to go sleep on them tonight?
I am so curious who on this ship knows. And like Makita, I've caught Makita sleeping on these couches quite a few times. Granted, I know the couches aren't, and you claim the carpet is fresh. But
The carpet is fresh.
It was just steam cleaned at the beginning of this trip.
Yeah.
and so the people whose rooms this affected. How many rooms in total? How many like state
4 rooms.
Okay, 4 rooms plus this plus the laundry room. Okay, and how long did they have to like stay in their room? Did they move to someone else's room?
We didn't have any open bunks on board.
Yeah, where would you move right now?
I'd sleep on the floor of someone else's room, a clean room. I'd snuggle. I would allow someone to snuggle with me.
I'm sure that was considered, but I think they mostly stayed in their room. Those were the first ones we dried out.
Was any of their personal stuff ruined?
No, it wasn't that deep.
Oh my god.
Now keep in mind, it was mostly salt water, but the fact that it went through the sewage system just taints everything.
And how many more days were left in that cruise?
I want to say that was midway through a month-long cruise. So there was 2 weeks. Although I do, every now and again, make sure that the techs wear flip-flops when they're walking around their rooms, just to the ghosts of poop past. It's perfectly clean. It's literally brand new carpet, been steam cleaned multiple times, but still, you know.
Yeah, but like Doug said, you'll never unsee it. You'll never unfeel it.
They'll never
No.
be quite as clean.
Do you think that there's a faster turnover rate in ship engineers, not because of anything besides the poop? Like of how long you can handle working with shit and having these situations over and over again?
Honestly, no, I don't think so.
No.
After the first couple of times, you get kind of jaded to it, and it's more of a joking matter than anything else.
You always send the third down there anyway.
Yeah, and you're only third for so long. I only sailed as third for 2 years.
Yeah.
But you'll always be turd.
To my mother, yes.
So for future sailors who go out to sea, what are some tips? What are some things they should remember to make your lives easier?
Remember to wash your hands before you eat.
Yeah. Don't be a third for too long.
Wear goggles and a face shield. That way you don't get poop in your
Don't
mouth.
talk too much.
But I mean, like for scientists, people who are shitting in the toilets that you have to fix. What are the things they should know?
If we provide single-ply toilet paper, there's a reason for it. Please don't use triple-ply. We will be mad and make nicknames for you.
Or it just won't work.
That too.
Did you have any thoughts about the Poopageddon?
I think it's kind of funny that it ended up going into probably the 3 places that you the three, you don't want to poop anywhere where it's not supposed to be, but the fact that it ended up in the laundry room where you go to clean your clothes, the cooks where they cook your food, and then the common area where everybody sits and hangs out. The fact that it ended up in those three places, I feel like is just extra funny because of all the places it could have gone. Those are, I think, the three you hope it would infiltrate last.
Yeah.
But also, I just worry about, like, the health implications with that, you know? It's like there's, like, just feces in the air. How many people ended up with pink eye after that trip?
Oh, I wouldn't even think about that. But yeah, it's right.
Like, it's just poop particles are floating in the air. That's why, have you seen the videos of when people, like, they essentially put, like, fluorescent liquid or something in a toilet, and they turn off the lights and turn on the black light and flush so you can see how high the, like, mist from the toilet goes?
Yeah, the spray.
There's just, yeah, so the fact people are living for 2 weeks, people were just walking through poop particles, like, that can't be healthy.
So I will say, I don't think the poop particles were necessarily everywhere because this ship had a lot of walls, right? This whole place was like a big box, and you had to go through a lot of doors to get to any space. But this is also, for scale, each door is like an inch or 2 inches off the ground. Like, you have to make a point to step over it to get into a room. So the spray was probably contained to the bathrooms where it was coming out of the toilets, right? It's spraying up and out, exorcist style. But then it was filling those rooms and pouring over that 2-inch gap at each doorway over and over again to get, like, out of the bathroom into the laundry room, out of the laundry room into the hallway to the galley, like downstairs, down the hallway, out of the toilet, out of the bathroom, into the bedroom, fill the bedroom over that edge, down the hallway, fill the edge into the lounge, and then fill the lounge. And the fact, too, that you had 2 more weeks and nowhere to go. The people whose rooms were filled with 2 inches of this.
You're just sleeping and breathing in poop particles. Like,
Yeah.
and I know they said it was mostly salt water, but the fact that it went through the sewage system, like, there's definitely poop and all kinds of, you know, bodily fluids in that water. That's just nasty.
Yeah. And I meant it when I said it. I would, while you guys clean, disinfect that room, I will spend 2 weeks sleeping on someone's floor. Absolutely.
Did people's stuff get ruined? Like, people probably leave their bags and stuff on the floor. Like, what do you...
Right? I know. They claimed not, and if there was, it wasn't a lot. Like, it wasn't a lot of stuff that got ruined. Hopefully people, like, used the lockers or put their stuff on their beds. But, yeah, like, I leave my stuff on the floor. You have, like, your yoga mats down and your shoes. And, yeah, I never put my shoes, like, in a closet or anything. They're right on the floor by my bed and stuff. And, yeah, there had to have been stuff that was ruined.
Bad. Yeah, I can't... I just think of how, like, I feel like I would be so overwhelmed if there's just poop everywhere. What do you even do? What do you do?
And the fact that this is just their job, right? This is just...
Another day. Yeah.
Next. The ship is still going. We're not turning around. Like, we got 2 more weeks. Figure it out.
Can we also circle back to the broken toilet?
Yes.
Okay, so he claimed that he just lowered the toilet lid
Yes.
and the entire porcelain bowl shattered, essentially.
That is the claim.
Did they ever find out what actually happened?
I don't think so. I don't think they ever... Obviously it wasn't that. He had, like...
No, you need to take... But how would you have done that anyways? Because I feel like you'd need to take, like, a sledgehammer to a porcelain toilet bowl to get it to break.
Maybe he had his emotional support bowling ball and he was trying to wash it in the bathroom and dropped it on the toilet. I really don't know.
But it's like one of those where how do you know what I mean? What do you bring onto the ship, or what is there on a ship that could cause that amount of damage? And how do you get into the bathroom without people seeing... You know what I mean? Like, that's like a significant amount of damage that's not going to happen easily.
So remember that these bathrooms mostly are in people's bedrooms. So whatever shit you have in your room, people don't really question or look at you because it's your room.
Yeah.
You know, you can bring your work into your room. I will say there's plenty of stuff on ships that could break a toilet. You know, there's heavy objects.
Was it like...
all over the place.
Was it pulled out of the wall? Were they hooking up and the toilet bowl fell from the wall and then from it hitting the ground shattered? Or was it, like, still attached to the wall but just the bowl was broken?
No, so remember, he said it's on the pedestal too. So the foot of a toilet. So it was like your standard house toilet. It had the foot and the bowl and attached to the wall. And the foot was broken, and the guy, it wasn't someone installing the toilet. It was just a dude using his toilet, and then they had to disassemble it, what was left of it.
What is that show where they, it was like guys that just kind of tested different theories, like they would blow shit up or they would shoot.
Mythbusters.
Mythbusters. Okay, so I kind of feel like this needs to be a Mythbusters episode where they take a porcelain toilet and they try every way possible to break it without something heavy and significant.
Into 4 pieces. Like, not just, like, it's one thing to, like, break a piece off. I could imagine, like, something breaking. But the whole thing, he said, was, like, a grand total of 5 pieces. It broke in, like, huge cracks on every side.
That's wild. Yeah, I don't even know.
I mean, it definitely wasn't the toilet seat.
I'm also curious as, like, how old that toilet was. Because what if it was, like, a weird flaw in the manufacturing and it just happened to be a bad toilet where it just didn't, and then it was on there, and then over time and the salt water and the air, and I don't know, maybe it became more brittle and it just happened to crack, maybe.
Okay. And I will give, like, when the ship rocks with the waves, like, momentum, if something that isn't necessarily strong, but the momentum of the ship rocking might add to the momentum and make it stronger. So that is another possibility.
Maybe.
But
give this guy the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, to break a porcelain toilet like that is definitely something clearly is a miss.
Well, on that note, I think this is a great place to close out our second podcast. Great episode, Kristen. Thank you for listening to this old interview from my life at sea. This was so much fun, and I know that the engineers are going to be very excited to hear this when it's released.
Yeah, it was really exciting, too, to listen. It was very educational. I learned a lot of things. I hope our listeners did, too. And, yeah, I'm excited to hear future stories from all of our listeners and, friends.
Yeah, if you are listening and you have a situation that you would like us to share on this podcast, please DM us on Instagram at situations_podcast. Yeah, write in and tell us your situation, and we will read it on the podcast. And if you don't want us to use your name, that's fine. Just say so, and we will keep it anonymous. But we would love to share any stories so that everyone knows that we're all in this together.
And ask your questions. We'd love to be able to answer your questions and take away any stigma that you may have around poop.
Yes.
This is a safe space.
Absolutely. All right. Peace out, everyone.
Until next time.